Well, hello there, fellow treasure
Boys
hunters.
and girls!
It's your favourite grumpy granny from Grody's Patch, and I'm here in Mildura at the incredible Woodsy's Maze, and I'm about to use that maze to show you the art of searching and researching like a pro.
Imagine eBay as a sprawling labyrinth, a maze of possibilities filled with hidden gems waiting to be discovered, using our power of researching to find the best items to sell on eBay. Are you ready? Let's get into it.
With this knowledge, you'll be ready to make informed decisions about what you want to sell on eBay. So if you're ready to crawl through the labyrinth that is eBay and search and research, let's get into it.
What I'm going to do today is just show you a very simple technique for looking up what particular brands in a particular category sell well, so that you can decide whether you want to sell those on eBay. So the first thing we're going to do is decide what category we're going to choose. And just for this example, we are going to choose women's tops. So what I'm going to type in here is women's tops, and we're going to go into here where it says women's clothing. We want to go into tops, so we're going to concentrate on the left hand menu. That is where we're going to find our information. So we're going to narrow it down because we don't want to deal with all the other sections that they've brought up here. We just want to search in tops. We're not going to worry about the sizes, but it is winter, so we want to worry about what long sleeve things are going to sell. And you'll see it'll keep bringing up other categories, but we're not going to worry about any of those. We're going to choose tops and we're going to choose long sleeve. Because I sell pre-owned clothing, we're going to tick on pre-owned. That will cut some search results out because there are people that don't specify whether it is pre-owned or whether it's new. So we're just going to not worry about that right now. And we're going to just scroll down a bit further. And because we only want to worry about what's actually selling in Australia, because that's where we are, or if you're in another country, put it on your country so that you know that it's narrowed down to those results. The results we're getting up here are stuff that people have listed. So that doesn't tell us much because you can list stuff, but it doesn't say that it's going to actually sell. So what we want to do is keep going further down here, and we're going to click on sold items. And that is going to bring us up the long sleeve tops in Australia that have sold in the last 90 days. And we could scroll down here and we could look at them and say, oh yeah, there's a Witchery one, there's a Zara one, there's a Columbia one. You're not going to remember that, and you're not going to know, is that still a good brand? Even though that one sold, look at this Columbia shirt, has only sold for $3.98. So is that a good thing to list, or isn't it? What we're going to do to find out is where it says here, more filters, we're going to click on that. And that is actually going to bring us up all the filters. We'll just give all that, because we could be here forever, we'll give that a little bit of a skip right now, because what the main thing I'm here to show you, and we talked at the start about the brands, so I'm going to go back up here to brands, and there will be a lot that show up in here. And this is where I come in. This is the first thing I would generally look at. I will put in my specifics, as in I'm looking for long sleeve tops, and then I'll go straight to the brands and I'll have a look and see what are the main brands that are selling. A lot of them you'll see here, some things, only 10 things have sold. I would generally have a scroll down and see what the bulk of the numbers are. If I just scroll up and see what I can see, and most of these aren't huge numbers in any of these, so we're just keeping on going down. But if we see here, Autograph has got, that's probably one of the bigger ones that we've seen at the moment. It's 208. Mella Purdy is 199. What else can we see? Can't see anything, any really big numbers. 46 for Mr. Zimmy. Haven't seen any big numbers jumping out at me yet, but we're not very far into the list. There's still a lot more to go. Selling now. Here we start to get into some of the bigger numbers. If we have a look, so we've got Country Road, which there's 913. So obviously that's something that does sell well, because what you're looking for, in essence, are things that are going to sell quickly so that you can get a really good turnover. And if we have a look here, R.M. Williams is doing quite well. Decuba is another one that's got quite a few numbers. I'm looking for anything that's sort of over 100 at this stage, because not a lot of these brands have big numbers. Part of that may be because they're rarer brands, but Do you want to have a rarer brand that is going to take longer to sell, or do you want something that has sold a lot of and therefore should continue to sell a lot of that brand if it's at a reasonable price, and try and get something that you know will turn over quickly? And that is what I do. So we're just going to keep going down, see what else we can find. Sass and Bide is another one, 148. Scanlan Theodore, 149. Now, here's another one, Seed Heritage, 269. So we're getting into some better numbers there. And we all have brands that we know that we think might sell well, but then we get on here and have a look and they don't sell all that well. So we've got H&M, the 156. I've done this at times and actually been surprised at some of the brands that I didn't think would sell all that well. You guys are probably looking at these and saying, what about that one? What about that one? Look, Joseph Ribkoff I know is a really good brand to sell and sells reasonably quickly. I've only ever picked up 2 Joseph Ribkoff items in my reselling career. I would recommend getting it if you see one, because they sell for a good price and there's not a lot of them around. So yeah, that would be a good one, even though there's not a lot. The numbers aren't huge there, but I do know that it does. Okay, so we'll get down here. Just Jeans stuff sells well. Uniqlo sells well. Now, here's the perfect example. Witchery, 1,400 items in the last 90 days. Now, Witchery was a brand that when I first started reselling, because it's just a mall brand, I actually didn't think it would sell all that well. And I have passed over that many Witchery garments in my time, and it's only been the last few months that I actually have realised that they sell exceptionally quickly and sell well. So Witchery is definitely a brand to pick up if you're selling women's clothing. So we're down the bottom now. So we've chosen 20 filters out of the lot. So only 20. Oh, the Zara is another brand. There we go. 490. And look over here, if we have a look, Levi's, 31. Look, you've got to remember these are tops. So there's not going to be a lot of tops per se, but if we went into jeans, it would be a different matter. There'd be a lot more Levi's showing up in the figures. But what I'm trying to show you is that in the tops, doing this gives you a really good idea of the stuff that's been selling in the last 90 days in brands. And anyone can do this. You don't need to have a store subscription. You can just get in here, search something up and find out the sorts of brands that are going to sell. So that was just to give you your first really in-depth go at how to research an item and how to research what is selling in a particular category. So in our next episode on researching, I'll get into this into more depth and we'll find out even more things to look for.